Amelia set off on her bike, the engine's purr echoing through the silent night. The forest road lay ahead, shrouded in darkness. The moon's feeble light filtered through the dense canopy, casting eerie shadows that seemed to dance with the swaying trees. As she rode deeper into the woods, a sense of unease settled in her stomach. The air turned colder, and mist curled around the edges of the path. A flicker of movement caught her eye, and she slammed the brakes, heart pounding. From the trees emerged ethereal figures, their spectral forms illuminated by an otherworldly glow. Their voices, like distant whispers, filled her ears. Amelia's pulse quickened as she tried to escape, but the path seemed endless, looping in on itself. The figures closed in, their whispers growing louder and more desperate. She felt their icy fingers brush her skin, sending shivers down her spine. Panic gripped her as she realized she was trapped in a macabre ritual, caught between the realms of the living and the dead. The forest seemed to close in around her, the trees twisting into grotesque shapes. The figures reached out with skeletal hands, their faces contorted in silent agony. Just as Amelia's fear reached its peak, the whispers crescendoed into a chilling wail, and everything went dark. Warping beneath her tires. Panic welled up within Eva as she realized the road was changing, and she was losing her way. She slowed down, trying to retrace her steps, but the landscape around her was unfamiliar. The forest seemed to stretch endlessly, and Eva's sense of time and direction grew hazy. Shadows danced at the corners of her vision, and the air turned icy, making her shiver despite her leather jacket. The forest seemed to be playing tricks on her, leading her in circles. With each turn, the path became more treacherous, the trees closing in like gnarled fingers. Eva's heart pounded as she realized she was trapped, a pawn in the forest's sinister game. Desperation drove her to speed forward, but the path only became more chaotic, branches clawing at her from all sides. Exhausted and disoriented, Eva's bike suddenly jolted to a halt. She looked around, realizing she was surrounded by an impenetrable wall of trees. Panic surged through her veins as the forest seemed to swallow her whole, the darkness consuming everything. A biker in outdated gear, his face obscured by a tattered scarf. Curiosity and concern mingled within Jacob as he pulled up beside the mysterious rider. No response came from the biker, and a bone-chilling wind seemed to swirl around them. A sudden gust tore the scarf from the figure's face, revealing an empty void where his features should have been. Jacob's heart raced and he twisted the throttle, speeding away from the specter. But no matter how fast he went, the phantom biker remained beside him, his head turned unnaturally in Jacob's direction. The forest seemed to stretch endlessly, the highway never ending. As Jacob's own exhaustion and fear deepened, the phantom biker's silence broke with a ghastly whisper, "Join me." His voice echoed in Jacob's mind, a chilling invitation to an otherworldly fate. With every passing moment, Jacob's grip on reality began to slip, and the boundary between the living and the dead blurred.